Hello, my name is Carolina and I'm applying for a Master's in Occupational Therapy at Leeds Beckett University. Question 1. Why this institution and why this course? I've always been a people person wanting to help and communicate with them. Occupational therapy will allow me to meet a large variety of people from different backgrounds, helping them to rehabilitate them. I really like the idea of understanding humans as occupational beings and the existing relationship between occupation and health, especially through the problem-based tutorials that Leeds Beckett offers. I specifically want to study at Leeds Beckett University because of the specialist facilities that you offer. I really like the £1 million skills suite featuring a built-in flat. It will allow me to gain hands-on experience in a controlled environment. Furthermore, the role emerging placements you offer, allowing occupational therapy to grow and build in places it wasn't before, really excites me. Question 2. What knowledge have I gained up to date that is useful for this course? I completed an A-level in psychology. I learned about various theories and studies. For example, the theory of learning, operant conditioning by Skinner. This is when learning is made through an association between a behaviour and a consequence for that behaviour. This is useful knowledge for my occupational therapy degree because it allows me to understand how I can most utilise the resources around me to help the patients I work with on my placements. For example, providing positive reinforcement, good job, well done, for their behaviour during their rehabilitation. It will allow them to have an extrinsic reward, giving a feel-good factor, making them want to work harder. It will also improve their relationship with me, allowing me to grow as an occupational therapy student. In my sport and exercise science degree in level 4 biomechanics, we learned about the anatomy of the human body. I can successfully name bones in the body, muscles, and even bony landmarks. I received a first in my mid-module anatomy exam, therefore demonstrating a high level of understanding in this topic. Anatomy is also one of the topics covered in this degree. Therefore, my previous knowledge will be useful because I'll be able to demonstrate a high level of understanding and achievement in this module. Furthermore, during my first placement, when a professional is possibly describing an injury the patient has sustained, I'll be able to understand exactly where it is using my anatomy knowledge. Lastly, I recently finished a British Sign Language course where I learned how to introduce myself, useful phrases, and even the appropriate body language I need to be using when I'm communicating. This allows me to communicate with a much larger spectrum of people. 11 million people in the UK are deaf or hard of hearing, with 151,000 being British Sign Language users. During my time on this course, especially during my placements, it is very likely I'm going to encounter someone who prefers using British Sign Language. My knowledge of British Sign Language will be extremely useful because I'll be able to effectively communicate with them, giving them a much more positive experience, and they'll be more open to rehabilitation as they'll feel understood and respected by those around them. 3. What knowledge have I gained up to date that is useful for this course? I am currently completing a degree in sport and exercise science. I am on the regular required to complete self-study outside of seminars and lectures. For example, completing further readings in order to understand a topic or develop my knowledge further. This experience of self-study will allow me to use this during my postgraduate degree. I understand how crucial independent study is. I'll be able to successfully and with confidence undertake many hours of self-directed research, readings, and preparation for assessments. In addition to this, I recently interviewed a head of occupational therapy. I asked him many questions, for example, what is your regular day-to-day? Do you have any advice for an occupational therapy student? His answers allowed me to gain insight into the life of an occupational therapist. This experience is useful for my degree because I'm able to understand what to expect in this degree and the placements, therefore making me feel comfortable and confident going into new scenarios, allowing me to be the best possible occupational therapy student I can be. For what skills have you gained up to date that are useful for this course? One skill that I've greatly developed is my leadership skills. I've done this through being selected the team captain of my rugby team. I'm required to lead the team, provide support and guidance. I'm also required to make the most appropriate decisions on behalf of my whole team. This skill is useful for this occupational therapy degree because I'm able to effectively lead a team in my placements and group projects. I understand how to digress work and how to achieve a high level of motivation in my peers in order to achieve a great working environment and great rehabilitation for our patients. Organisation is another skill I pride myself upon. Throughout my GCSEs and A-levels is when I developed this skill the most. It was the first time I experienced such a high level of pressure to succeed. Organisation was crucial. I developed my organisation skills to such a high standard by keeping up-to-date diaries, keeping timetables, writing in-depth notes, cue cards and posters of those notes. I now apply this organisation into everything I do in life. For example, I keep a fitness timetable for the week. This level of organisation is so useful for this degree because I will be able to stay on top of all the work assigned successfully. Furthermore, I'll be able to complete notes and paperwork from my sessions with patients on my placements. Throughout my sport and exercise science degree, I have developed resilience. In level 4 physiology of the human body, we did a mid-module assessment and I only achieved 55%. This was the first time I received such a low mark. I felt defeated and upset because I felt like I had prepared and like I did a good job. I felt like giving up on the module. However, upon receiving my feedback, I learned where I went wrong and I wanted to work upon my weaknesses and try again on the next assessment, therefore developing my resilience. This skill is useful for this degree because I will be able to pick myself up whenever I fail and try again. For example, learning new techniques and topics in different modules that I've not yet learnt about.